Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So today I thought I would do a video on how to create your own shimmering inks for fountain pens. Now you can buy a number of shimmering inks from different ink brands like Herbin have their 1670 range. You have Diamine that have their Shimmertastic range. You also have other ink manufacturers like Robert Oster are coming up with a Shaken Shimmy, and Organic Studios are now doing their own version of the glitter inks. So I thought I would just show you today how simple and easy it is to actually turn any fountain pen ink, water-based ink, into a shimmering ink. So I have a number of different inks here with me today, and thought we would just have a bit of a go here and see how this works out. Now, I think what we will do first is we will make up the inks. We'll do a swab of each ink without glitter and then a swab with each ink with glitter so that you can see how it works out. So if I try and move some of this out of the way, so what you need is really, obviously, an ink. You need some sample vials. Now these are just flat-bottomed sample vials that I'm using here. I just find it's easier just to gauge how much I need. You need some powder, some pearlescent pigmented powder, and I'm going to be using one called Pearlex. Now these are made in the US. You can buy them pretty much worldwide. They're made by a company called Jack Guard, and you get them in all sorts of different colours. Now the ones I've got here are Aztec Gold and Sapphire Blue. So we'll try mixing a few of these together. I'm going to use the gold one mostly, but I'll then use the Sapphire Blue on a blue ink so you can see the difference that we get here. You need some cotton wool buds as well, and you also need a spatula. Now I don't have a spatula. I am just going to wing it with a dental floss toothpick. It has like a spatula head to it that you would normally hold on when you're flossing your teeth, like so, and I'm just going to do that and just use that as a scoop basically, but you could use a knife, you could use anything really. So what we'll do first, we need to actually get some of this Pearlex powder in, and I'm going to show you what this Pearlex powder looks like. It's actually very, very fine powder, very, very fine, so you have to be careful. You don't want to be breathing this in, and I will try and basically get a little bit of on the spatula here, probably about that much. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit more. About that much. And this stuff will cling and it will blow around as well. And I'm just going to literally put it in there and shake it. And what we'll see, if I zoom in there, you can hopefully see that there's the pigmented powder at the bottom of the vial there. And I will try and, if I tap it, it's hard to see on camera, but I will try and get it just to basically cover the base of the vial by about 1 millimeter. So I'm going to do this actually with a number of these vials because we want to basically add this Aztec Gold glitter, and I'm not going to actually be that precise in terms of the amount of glitter that I'm adding. I'm just going to be doing this by eye. So that's another one done. And you have to be very careful because this glitter will get everywhere and will actually mark. So like you do have to be a little bit careful, like just a few specks and it will go and smudge just like ink on a desk. So let's try and do that. We need a bit more in this one. And again, this is not, I'm not doing this to an exact science. So I'm just trying to zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. And I've got 2 more of these to do, and then we'll do a sapphire one. Let's see what we can get here. Okay, that's enough in that one. I just really want to show you the entire process here that we're going through for each ink, so that you can see how to do it for each of these inks, and maybe do it for your own inks as well. But you can see that there's no sort of magic going on here whatsoever. So, but you do have to also be very careful not to get this in your eyes, because it can actually be quite detrimental to your eyes. So you do have to be a little bit careful. I'm trying to do this on camera. See, I've got some gold dust here, and you'll see here it starts to smudge everywhere if you're not careful. So it's best really to do this on a probably actually with some paper underneath, which I probably should have done. So let's do the blue sapphire one now. So the blue sapphire is very, very blue. So we'll do the same there, and we'll put this in a new vial. Now I'm using the same spatula. I don't think it really matters that much, but if you wanted to use a different spatula you could, but I'm just not going to. It doesn't matter if there's a few bits of gold dust in there as well as the blue. So let's actually show you here. So it's try not jug the camera too much, but here you go. Like maybe that will show you a little bit better. So there's about that much powder in this vial. So what we'll do, we'll start mixing ink. I'm going to put a bit of kitchen towel down as well, because I do not want to get this ink everywhere. So let's, just in case, I'll move these out of the way a little bit so we don't need those. And the problem is these vials will go everywhere if you're not careful. So let's move the pigments out of the way. So we're going to use Lamy Blue to start with. So it's just regular Lamy Blue, and we will ink this up, and we'll put about a half of this vial in here, and I believe this is a 6 or 7 milliliter vial. So let's just see. We'll put let's see if we can get 3 milliliters in here. Yeah, so we want a little bit more. Right on the end of this ink. Any more ink I can get out of that? Let's see. Yeah, I can get a little bit more ink out of this. Now, we will do... So you can see in here, we've got the ink in. See, this is going to get a bit messy because it is ink. So I put in there 4 milliliters of ink, and I just emptied this Lamy bottle of Lamy Blue. So, and then what we'll do is we'll just shake it up a little bit just to mix it, and then we'll try Lamy Red. So let's give this a go. And we'll take another syringe. I'm going to use different syringes each time. I'm not going to use the same syringe because obviously that's going to pollute the ink. So let's do 4 milliliters. So this is a 3 milliliter syringe. So actually, that's not too bad. Actually, yeah, 3 milliliters actually will. Which is a bit of froth. Yeah, do another milliliter. We'll do just under 4 milliliters per sample, just to make it as accurate as we can. what I'm going to do, I'm going to move these out of the way here, because we're going to need to come back to these bottles in a little bit. So, and I'll show you why, because we'll want to do another swab of the original ink. Now this is Lamy Pink ink. Now this does have a little bit of glitter in it already. I'll just shake that up a little bit, but it's not that much of glitter in there. So we will and take another 3 milliliters of ink. Take a little bit more. Okay. Be careful not to knock these over. Now, obviously, this is really just the boring bit, unfortunately. Now, I could actually fast forward through all of this, but I really just want to show you what this can look like. So this is Noodler's Apache Sunset. So let's open this one as well. Open a vial. And we'll do the same. You see that I'm trying to be very careful not to spill any of this ink, because I do not want an inky mess everywhere. So this is Apache Sunset. And then we'll do the cap on that bottle. We'll do Organic Studio Nitrogen. Now this is a ink that will stain very quickly, stain anything in its path, and I've already got a dot there on me, and that dot is already migrated. So I have to be very careful with this ink, and that was just one dot that came off when opening the bottle. So do a little bit more of that. And then we'll get to the fun bit in a little bit. So I can cap that without getting ink everywhere. And then we'll do Robert Oster Fire and Ice. So, but this time we're going to do this in a blue sapphire powder or pigment, and you'll be able to see the difference here. So we'll do another 4 milliliters, and these are, I think they're 7 milliliter vials. But you could do it in any size vial you want, to be honest. Just adjust the powder. But yeah, you can see here like how it just looks. So now here comes the messy part, if you think that was the messy bit. So what we want to do ideally is swab these inks. So we now have all of these inks made, but we want to try and swab the normal ink without the glitter first, so we can see the difference. So if I try and move these back a little bit, what we'll do I think 3 inks on a page. So we'll do the blue first, Lamy Blue. I am actually out of ink here, so this is going to be interesting. Let me get another bottle, because that one is dry as a bone now. Obviously been using far too much Lamy Blue lately. So, get this quite saturated. And this is on Tomoe River paper, but you can do this on any paper you really want to. I'll do a bit more here so you can see it. So that's the Lamy blue. We'll do the same with Lamy red. And see if I can try and get all of this on camera, because so you can actually see me doing it. So this is going to be Lamy red. And get it as saturated as I can. Okay. And then we'll do Lamy pink. So now this has got the glitter in here, so I'm going to shake this up a bit because I want to show you the difference, because a lot of people say that Lamy pink doesn't have a lot of glitter. So I just want to show you how much glitter it really does have. Get this very saturated. Okay, so that's the first 3 inks. And then, so what we'll now do is we'll take the glitter versions of these. Bring that back a bit. Now, you may be able to see, but you will get some glitter on the bottom. So you just shake, obviously with the capsule, shake it as much as you can. And then just dab in and do a swab. So I'll do exactly the same here. I'll get it very saturated. And that way then we can just see what it looks like. Okay, so that's Lamy blue with gold dust. We'll do the same with Lamy red with gold dust. We'll see how that turns out. Okay. Just add a little bit more to that. Right, so that's the Lamy red. And you can do this with any inks, you just really have to make sure you get the right combination of glitter. So this is Lamy pink with extra glitter, gold glitter in. So let's do this one as well. If I move this back up, you'll be able to see it better. And this is, I think, going to look quite nice actually. So what we'll do, we'll put that to one side and let that dry, and then we'll do the next 3 inks. So these are Noodler's Patchy Sunset. So we'll do that. And Noodler's Patchy Sunset has some really wicked shading on it. So let's see how that turns out. So that's a Patchy Sunset. We have nitrogen. I'm going to try and be a little bit careful with this bottle, because last time I already got a little bit of a drop of ink over me. And let's see how this turns out. So this is on Temuray River, so nitrogen should sheen a lot on Temuray River. So I'm going to try and get that a bit more saturated there, because we'll then be able to tell if it will sheen or not. And then likewise with the glitter version of it. And now we'll do Robert Oster Fire and Ice. Now obviously this is a favourite of a lot of people. So I will do that as well. And we'll just see how this will turn out. So I'm going to get it very saturated. Now I could ink these all up in a pen, and I will do later on, but probably not on this video. But I just wanted to show really sort of to try and do it more quickly. I wanted to show you the entire process from start to finish, and I thought sort of like doing it on inking up every single pen might be a little bit more problematic. So just need a few more Q-tips, and we'll do the Apache Sunset. So we'll shake this. I guess this is why Robert Oster are calling it shake and shimmy, because you do have to shake the shimmer particles. So let's see if we can. Now already I can see a huge amount of shimmer in this ink. So that's Apache Sunset. We'll do the nitrogen. So I'm going to have to shake this a lot just to get the particles from the bottom of the vial. And then I will try and create this very saturated. Okay. And then you can see here on the fire and ice, there's quite a lot of particles on the bottom here of the. There you go. So you can see that. So that is obviously something. So that's why you do have to like shake the particles, or shake the vial, shake the ink more, so that you can actually get them all within the ink. So let's give this a try. Right, okay. So we'll now need to let that one dry as well. Now the other one, if we go back to the other one that has been drying for some time, let's see if we can not spill ink everywhere, have it run. So now let's have a look at these inks. So we have here the standard Lamy blue, and if I try to show you here, I'll zoom in a bit. The Lamy blue, there, you can see some sheen on it already that's happening there, or pooling or shading. You have the Lamy red, which has a little bit of a gold sheen to it there. I'm going to show you there. There you go. A little bit of gold sheen there. A little bit of blue, a little bit of sheen there on the blue as well. But the Lamy red certainly has a bit of gold sheen. And then you have the Lamy pink, which is there is a little bit of a sheen there, but not a lot. But there really isn't a lot of glitter on this one. So now let's look at the glitter versions. That's Lamy blue with glitter, with the Aztec gold glitter. This is Lamy red. Just look how that looks. Very sparkly. Now, Lamy pink, you'll notice, has a huge amount of glitter on it. Compared, so if we go back here and just look at these and compare side by side, so we have the, try and get the camera, the light on this. So we have Lamy blue there. We have the Lamy red, and then we have Lamy Pink. And just look at the difference that you get on both of these. So this in itself is really making any ink that you want into a glitter ink. So I'm trying to move this up a little bit. You can see here. Here we go. The difference that we have in those inks. So that's the first 3 inks. So let's move these out of the way. I want to bring in the second 3. So these are the Apache Sunset at the top. We have Organic Studios Nitrogen. And then we have Fire and Ice. Now, these aren't fully dry. They're almost dry. But let me see if I can show you here. So Apache Sunset already has a lot of shading on it anyway. You're not seeing a huge amount on this though. You see a little bit where the ink is pulled. Then you have Organic Studios Nitrogen. Now that always has a very wicked sheen to it. And you can see the bit that is still wet there. So that's a very, very sheeny ink out of the box anyway. And then Fire and Ice. Now I've really never had that much sheen from Fire and Ice. Now maybe I'm unlucky, maybe I just got a bad batch, but I really never get a lot of sheen. But now let's have a look. The Apache Sunset with gold glitter. Look at that. That really is nice. And then the Nitrogen with glitter, with Aztec gold glitter, is amazing. Just the amount of colour that you get there. And then you have Fire and Ice with glitter. And this is the, if you recall, this is a sapphire glitter. It actually makes it look more of a metallic blue. Pearlescent metallic blue. So let me try and zoom out a bit more. And you can see these inks here. So we have, there you go, the Apache Sunset, which you can see the huge amount of difference there. The Organic Studios Nitrogen. And look at that Fire and Ice from Robert Oster. That is really, really nice. So this can be done very, very cheaply. This Pearlex glitter that you can add really only costs around, I think it's £5 or $5, 5 UK pounds or $5 US, and you can actually make pretty much your own glittery inks out of it. Just try and move this over a little bit so you can see it a bit better here. Let's try and incorporate all of them on there. So there you go. You can see that really just adding the Pearlex powder, you can get some really nice glittery inks out of the inks that you already have in your collection. And for around about £5 UK pounds or $5 US, those tubs will last you, I'd almost say, a lifetime. Like the glitter tubs here, you actually have 21 grams of pearlescent powder in here, and it really, really is a huge amount. And you saw how much powder that I added per vial. Now, if you're making an 80 milliliter bottle, obviously you're going to add a lot more, but still, it's not a huge amount of pearlescent powder. So there you go, really. That's how easy it is to make your own pearlescent inks. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you stop buying any shimmer inks from Herbin or Diamine or Robert Oster or Organic Studio or any of the other manufacturers that are providing shimmer inks. But it's just an eye-opener to how little powder that you could put in your own inks in a vial and make your own glitter ink. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting this in a full bottle of ink. I would just do it in a controlled environment within a ink vial, and then you can ink up from there. and that way then you're not ruining the bottle of ink at any point, so that you can still use the ink as it normally would be. But there you go. It's quite an interesting thing to do with your ink. So if you have a lot of ink, why not give it a try? So thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.